Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on something we all use constantly, but probably never think twice about, and that is guest Wi Fi. What is really going on behind the scenes when you log on at a coffee shop or in an airport? Well, let's go ahead and find out. You know the drill, right? You are out and about, you see that beautiful free guest Wi Fi network, and you connect without even thinking. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's happening on the background to make that simple tap of a button possible and secure? I mean, from our side of the screen, it's designed to be completely invisible. It's just a couple of taps, maybe you agree to some terms and conditions, and boom, you're online. It feels totally effortless. But for the business that's actually providing that internet connection, oh, it's a completely different story. Trust me. For them, offering you that free Wi Fi is a massive technical puzzle and a pretty serious security challenge. So let's take a look at what's really happening on their side. And that brings us to the heart of the problem. From a business point of view, every single device trying to connect, that's your phone, my laptop, everybody's tablet, is considered untrusted. It's totally unknown. And in the world of cybersecurity, every unknown is a potential risk. So you might be thinking, why not just use a simple password and call it a day? Well, the risks are just pretty huge to do that. For starters, a business can actually be held legally responsible for illegal stuff that happens over its network. And a single infected guest device could be a backdoor for an attack on their entire system. Plus, if everyone is streaming videos, it can slow the network to a crawl, especially for paying customers and staff. So, a simple password just doesn't solve any of these real world problems that I mentioned a few minutes ago. So now imagine this is happening at scale. We are talking hundreds or even thousands of people connecting every single day. Things are bound to go wrong and really wrong. And the complexity isn't just about security anymore, it's about making the whole system actually work for everyone all the time. And I'm almost certain some of these look very familiar to you, right? We all have been there. You try to connect, but that login page just never shows up. Or you get that dreaded blank white screen after you type in your information. These are not just glitches, right? They are symptoms of a super complex system that's juggling countless different devices and situations all at once. Believe me, it's very, very tough. So, how do you even begin to get a handle all of this? Well, their first line of defense is something you have definitely used, probably even without knowing its name, the captive portal. You can think of it as a network's digital front desk. So yeah, this is the web page that pops up right after you join guest network before you can do anything else. It literally captures your browser and forces you to interact with it. Maybe accept some terms or enter a code before it lets you onto the wider internet. It's like a gatekeeper. But as you can see, not all login methods are created equal. There is this constant balancing act. On one hand, a simple one click I agree button is super fast and easy for you, but it tells business almost nothing about who you are. On the other extreme, you have something like a sponsor logging, where an employee has to approve your access. That's maximum security for the business, but kind of slow and inconvenient for you. Every company has to figure out where they want to be on that spectrum. Okay, but a login page is just the beginning. The modern philosophy that really drives all of this is something called zero trust. And honestly, the name pretty much tells you everything you need to know about its attitude. This is a complete 180 from older security models. The core idea is simple and powerful. You don't automatically trust anything or anyone, whether they are inside or outside your network. Every single request to access anything, no matter where it's coming from, has to be verified every single time. So how does this typically work for, say, a guest at a hotel, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's a three-step process. First, the system identifies you using that captive portal we talked about. Second, it signs your profile. A daily guest might get less bandwidth than a consultant who's there for a meeting. And finally, there is this crucial part. It enforces the rules for that profile. Things like limiting your data or even cutting off access after 24 hours. Okay, so that system works great for people, but what about other things connecting to the network? We are talking about security cameras, smart thermostats, printers, and the whole Internet of Things. They can't exactly type in a password, right? And this is a huge challenge for that verified everything rule. The zero trust that we talked about. How in the world do you identify a device that can't tell you who or what it is? How do you give a smart sensor the internet access it needs to function without accidentally opening up a backdoor to your entire network? Well, the answer is really a clever technique called DHCP fingerprinting. It's kind of cool. See, whenever any device wants to join a network, it has to ask for an IP address, and that request contains a unique digital signature, a combination of its hardware, its operating system, and little details. The network acts like a detective, analyzing this fingerprint to figure out exactly what kind of device it's talking to. So here's a perfect example of how that works. On the left, the system looks at the fingerprint it sees. The vendor is Nest Labs, the operating system is Chrome, and it puts the pieces together and says, aha, this is a Google Nest security camera. So it automatically assigns it the security camera profile you see on the right. And look at that policy. It only allowed to stream video to one specific server. Everything else is blocked. That is zero trust in action for a device that has no user. So let's bring it all home. When you combine these pieces, the captive portals for the user, the zero trust security principles, and the clever device fingerprinting for IoT, you get a truly modern solution that can manage and secure connectivity for any person and anything. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that behind that one simple login screen, there's this powerful unified system that turns total chaos into organized control. It authenticates any user, automatically identifies any device, and then applies custom fit zero trust security rules to all absolutely everything. For a big global business, this means way less complexity and much better security, all while making sure they are following the local laws and are compliant to these local laws. So next time you tap that connect button on a guest Wi-Fi network, you will know about the incredible invisible system working behind the scenes to keep things running smoothly and securely. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible systems are out there quietly securing your and our digital world every day? Thanks for joining this explainer.